We welcome you to the National Stadium in Honduras as Scotiabank Concacaf League semifinal number 2, leg number 2. It's a Clasico. It's Olimpia and Motagua. Welcome to Tegucigalpa, everybody. What a magnificent atmosphere this is for the Concacaf League finale between these two. Ucles will be the other finalist. The question remains after a 0-0 game in the first round, who is able to make the best of a gorgeous condition, a lit-up national stadium, and tens of thousands accumulated in the stands as Olimpia and Motagua face off here tonight. Take a look at match 13, Motagua and Olimpia 0-0 in the first leg. Ucles a 2-2 draw, just enough to get by Real España, while also maintaining a 3-point lead as it pertains to hosting the second leg of the final. Olimpia would need to win by 4 goals or more to host the second leg. Otherwise, the winner of this match will host the first leg and go to Alajuela for the 6th and final CONCACAF League final. What a tremendous atmosphere this is. It's ruckus and exuberant right now for Olimpia. They have won their last 7 home games in CONCACAF League. They've won 14 in totality in CONCACAF League. That's the most of any team, tied with Motagua. They've had a phenomenal run in the league, but they're second right now to Motagua. They've conceded the fewest goals in the league, second fewest among the semifinalists in CONCACAF League, again, only to Motagua. If there's one thing we know about Lions, they're typically the king of the jungle. But in Honduras, they've been the king of this league for 110 years. And here tonight, they have a chance to reestablish that dominance once more against a team that they've had a little bit of trouble with of late. Pedro Trollio is confident and excited for the match tonight. Meanwhile, for Motagua, could any team in all of Central America be in better form than they are? They've lost just one of their last 17 matches now. They've won more finals over the last 50 years head-to-head with Olimpia. And in their history, a 17-time champion. That, of course, second in Honduras, only to Olympia's 34. They've also won 14 games in this competition. But perhaps the biggest win has eluded them altogether. 3 times now they've made the final in CONCACAF League, and 3 times they've failed. But with Hernan Medina, the 47-year-old Argentine at the helm, they certainly feel that tonight is their night. It's notable, of course, with 2 Honduran teams who call this venue home, who is, in fact, home in this game. The Olimpia fans are the more boisterous. Motagua fans are herded together in the away section because Olimpia is, in fact, the home team. And as a result, Motagua has the added carrot of knowing that away goals favor them tonight. So while it could finish 0-0, we could go to penalties. It'd be a record 5th time in the tournament for Motagua. Olimpia has been there as well. The expectation is there will be goals tonight, and there will be both celebration for one side and epic sorrow on the other. 267 meetings between Eagles and Lions in Honduras in the domestic league. Olympia's won 98, but the most common feature of those 267 meetings is a draw, 108 times. Well, tonight, a draw would favor Motagua, but Olimpia, with a win, advanced to a final. They could bookend this tournament. They won the first. They have a chance to win the last. They now know their opposition as well. It will not be Real España. It will be Ucles of Costa Rica, the 2020 champion in the competition. The Olimpia fans waving blue and white balloons throughout the venue. It is an experience all that more unique. There are very strict rules in place tonight to ensure that Olimpia and their fans would be able to attend the final should they get there. Motagua and Olimpia take the field. It's happened some 300 times previously, yet this is one of those rare instances of do or die, win or go home, final or out. This semifinal reaches its apex, and it could not have picked two more willing, more able participants. Olimpia and Motagua, 204 years of Honduran soccer history contained in that cloth, take the field for this CONCACAF League semifinal, of which everything is both expected and anticipated. Motagua and Olimpia have taken the field. They'll play the CONCACAF League anthem. We'll show you the lineups. We'll kick off this majestic semifinal. It's somewhat misleading to say that you would hear the FIFA anthem here in this venue. You can't hear much of anything. You can't even hear yourself think. Olimpia and Motagua set to battle in this semifinal. Now look at the lineup that Pedro Trollio has put together. Only one change. Boniek Garcia, the 38-year-old, to the bench. Jorge Alvarez, the 24-year-old Honduran international, steps in his stead. They've made no changes to the 18, and while Houston Arboleda finally returned after 2 months out against Marathon, Pedro Trollio was nervous about putting him into this game, not knowing how far he could go. As a result, the Colombian left out of the team altogether. The referee is Ivan Barton. This crew assembled of 2 from Costa Rica, 2 from El Salvador, 1 from Suriname. As the players make their way out, the captains will meet with the officials momentarily. Our referee tonight is well versed in moments like this. He's overseen the under-20 CONCACAF final in 2018, the CONCACAF League final in 2020, Alajuelense over Saprissa, and the Champions League final first leg between Pumas and Seattle. Hernan Medina of Motagua has assembled a lineup that looks drastically different. Maldonado and Nunez to the bench. Decas and Diego Rodriguez out altogether. No Roberto Merera, 7 goals in CONCACAF League, most of any Motagua player unavailable. Pereira is available. He starts. Martinez, Moncada, and Melendez as well. There is a thick smoke hanging over the National Stadium in Tegucigalpa. Perhaps it shrouds this matchup in some form of mystery, as if these opponents don't know each other well enough. Applause from Motagua players to the away section. The Olimpia faithful make up most of this bowl-shaped stadium in Tegucigalpa. They lit fireworks overhead, and yet the first goal will be the ultimate firework. The moment this match leaves 0-0, there will be desperation that replaces this smoke in the air. Edric Menjivar on one end, that is Jonathan Rougier. 17 clean sheets in CONCACAF League, 80 saves, both a tournament record. And now the countdown is on. Highly anticipated. And this Honduran Clasico is underway, the semifinal of CONCACAF League in 2022. Motagua taking on Olimpia in Tegucigalpa. Lifted up by Brian Moya. Carried forward by Chirinos. The aggregate level, the first leg, a Motagua home game. Collected by Olimpia, and the service across cleared off the penalty spot. a scoreless draw, we would go direct to penalties at the conclusion of the 90 minutes. An Olimpia win, they're through. A goal-scoring draw or a Motagua win. Motagua would go to their 4th Concacaf League final. Pirouetting through. A free kick to Olimpia. And a positive moment between Chirinos, the Motagua player who brought him down. There's Pedro Trollio, 55 years young. He said he played in Boca River, in Lazio Roma. Now he coaches in Olimpia Motagua. The 10th club he's managed, and perhaps none quite to this height. Carlos Sanchez, the former Motagua player. Sanchez drives it forward. Rougier allows it out. In 2019, Hernan Medina, the 47-year-old Argentine former center back, began coaching at Club Atlético Racing in Argentina. He earned promotion to Primera B. He's coached 73 games as the head man. He's won 47, he's lost just 7. Since replacing Diego Vasquez, as if there was any chance anyone could follow in his footsteps. He's merely gone 18 wins, 3 losses, and 8 draws in 29 games, scoring 51, conceding 16. He was hired in March of 2022. He won the Clausura after Vasquez had won 5 Honduran titles, reached 3 CONCACAF League finals. Martinez, chopped down. Already there's a sense that Ivan Barton will approach this match tightly with the whistle. Moncada and Martinez over the ball. Moncada has to be the biggest surprise of the bunch to come into the 11. The number 5, Marcelo Pereira, was certainly in doubt. Moncada steps over. Walter Martinez hung that up there for Pereira. And offside. Narrowly offside, the captain. 7th year at Motagua. There was question as to whether or not he was recovered enough even to feature in this game. Hernan Medina suggested it would be if he featured at all from the bench. Instead, he wears the captain's armband from the jump. Rougier. Pinto goes down. Free kick, Olimpia. And then Medina already having words with the 4th. It's Melendez in on the tackle. Barton has his eyes on you. Truthfully, Medina would take a yellow card if his team won. Driven across Alvarez. Ball is bobbled out of the hands of Rougier for a corner. That is a rare hiccup for a player who's won most every individual goalkeeping award the CONCACAF has to offer. All eyes on Jerry Benson. Sent off against Municipal in the opening round of 16. Service across. Benston was coming to the near post. Flicked forward Delgado. Recovered by Olimpia. caroms away from Hector Castellanos. And then Motagua the other direction. Some took an aim at the level of the first game between these teams, a 0-0 draw a week ago. That was not the way Pedro Trollio described it. Olimpia into the final third. Benston trying to get under it. Melendez puts that out. Corner, Olimpia. Alvarez will try again. An Olimpia youth. In 2017, he was just a young academy lad. He's come a long way since then. He featured the most recent Gold Cup against El Salvador and Curaçao. He is one of the leading lights for Olimpia going forward. Alvarez. Header steered down dangerously and wide. Appeal for a handball, decisively a corner from the referee. Brian Bacalus in the middle of all that. It has to be convincing from Rougier. Corner now, and Rougier under it. And he's let Motagua forward. Bacalus ahead. Retains once more. Inward on Moncada. An option percolates down the line. Angled across. Ricocheted free off Castellanos. Well struck to the halfway line. Lopez. He goes down, advantage played. Martinez. Down the line, Melendez. Scooped up and away, Eddie Hernandez. 25 goals for Olimpia the past 2 seasons. Newly minted at Motagua this year. 5 goals in 10 games. He had been at Motagua from 2013 to 2017, and then went on what one hopes is a life-affirming international journey as a footballer, from Sweden to China, Colombia to Kazakhstan, Iran to Saudi Arabia, before landing on his feet again at Olimpia, and finally back where he started at Motagua. Central from Pinto. Bypassing Pinto now. Alvarez angles through. Played ahead from a very tight angle, Michael Chirinos. The Golden Ball winner in that 2017 run to a Concacaf League title for Olimpia. Looking to leave his mark. And to be entirely honest, I'm not sure Rougier would have stopped that if it were in fact aimed inside the post. He did leave a little more room than perhaps he had intended. Melendez brought it down. Lopez chasing. Turned away by Bacalus. Angling him inward. Wrong-sided Hernandez. Marks his frustration. does strike an arm. Melendez has it straight down beside the body, and without being able to utilize VAR, not even a question. Referee also looking through about 5 bodies in that instance. The aggregate is level. Should this game remain scoreless, penalties. Olimpia wins. They go through. Struck on the ground, Rogier off the bounce. Motagua wins or a goal-scoring draw. They go through. Delgado. Right moment, chipping forward, Martinez wins a Motagua corner. Paredes saying if Garcia is in the way, shouldn't he be carded for that? And the effort to move quickly dismissed. Martinez played it short. Delgado played it too long. Cleaned out by Raul Santos. Driven forward, Lopez. Former champion at Real España. He's managed a few goals in the league. It's a Motagua side that's yet to concede in this tournament, believe it or not, in 5 games. And it's been closer than they had hoped. They've only scored 3. Nothing against Tauro, a pair of 0-0 draws. They went to penalties in the quarters. The round of 16, they relatively scraped by Cibao, 3-0 on aggregate. Pinto hop-stepping through only to see Castellanos sweep it away. Last touched by Eddie Hernandez. Lopez spun out to Delgado. There's room here. Delgado got it all wrong. There is clear frustration and miscommunication between the Motagua players. Earlier was Hernandez gesturing. Now it's Walter Martinez who's taken offense. Motagua's had some weaving runs into the final third, and they've all gone unnoticed. Delgado. Martinez. Melendez. Martinez. Delgado. Switches the point, Santos. Hangs that up there. Not to be for Lopez. Santos again. It was Santos de Guapolis that fell in that 2017 final to Olimpia. It extended a decade-long run of Champions League appearances for Olimpia, back when only the champion qualified. That changed in the latter years of CONCACAF League. 6 have qualified this year, including both these teams by virtue of their semifinal appearance. As for the others, Real España, who drew the second leg, but were unable to overcome their deficit against Alajuelense in the semifinal. They're through to Champions League next year. Alianza and Tauro through as well. Herediano and Diriangen, the two sides, reached the quarterfinal, but fail to reach Champions League in CONCACAF. Wins a free kick. Hard to describe someone winning anything with that contact. Nevertheless, Martinez played this quickly. Castellanos. Pinto, could he have a go? Melendez ensures he doesn't. Sanchez. The 32-year-old defender from El Progreso is caught flat-footed. Going to see it recovered by Moya, the midfield general of this group. Charge a guy to midfield now. Lalo Nunez. Nunez, at 18, he debuted at Motagua. He said they didn't value him on a Platense. Eventually Olimpia from the end line. Stayed in, appeal once more for a handball. A wagging finger from the referee. Edge of the area, played inward. Brought in by Garcia. Nunez again, service forward away from Moya. Well steered header. Melendez snuffs it out. Well, watch for that arm extended. Appears to catch the body. Pinto somehow has rounded Melendez. Pinto goes down. The referee says no. And now he's given a free kick. Overzealous from Martinez. Alvarez swatted away by Rugier. Moncada stripped but recovers. And he'd do well to send that out of town. A free kick won by Motagua alleviates a moment of pressure. Drop that a foot or two. Perhaps Olimpia has a chance at it. 20 minutes in the books in Honduras. Scoreless through 110 between Olimpia and Motagua. play no more than 180. If this scoreline remains, penalties that'll make every heart in Honduras beat just a little bit faster. Santos. The winner of the tie will see Alajuelense. Costa Rica. Twice Motagua has lost finals to Costa Rican opposition. Olimpia won their final against Santos de Guayapolis in 2017. First card of the match. Too much, too late from Merman Mejia. Showing a yellow card. Olimpia was eliminated by Alajuelense in penalties in 2020. Alajuelense went on to win the title. Well, that was not a year Motagua reached the final. It made 3 of the 5. No, it was Saprissa. And what a final it was. Deflected. Melendez either over or underthought it. Pinto. Alvarez got a magic wand. He could go either way. Sanchez. Siphoned off by Motagua. Do leave too high. Including that human wrecking ball. Delgado. Good spin, Hernandez. If he latches on, there's danger. He has. He's laid this up. Touched over Lopez. Bangs off of Garcia. Well, Menjivar certainly drawing a flabbergasted look from the referee. He did make contact. He does convince the referee it is entirely unintentional. Delgado. That's snagged. Delgado's brother, by the way, part of the Real España side, failed to create an all-Honduran final. What a game that was between Real España and Alajuelense. Real España leading that game twice over. That game did have significant ramifications, not just for the final, but where the final would be played. At that point, I mean, Olimpia would need a 4-goal win to level goal difference. For Motagua, the points don't benefit them. Oh, Mejia, yellow card. He's off. He's off for Olimpia. He's been sent off and he can't believe it. A yellow card for dissent, apparently to Menjivar. Mejia pleading his case. This semifinal is taking a massive turn. What would otherwise be a rather innocuous yellow card. Delgado goes up. Studs extended. He catches the player. In other circumstances, you'd say that's a yellow card. But for that to be a second, now Pedro puts an arm up. There's a good chance that could win an Academy Award. Bekelis saying Pedro caught him in the face. Mejia still hasn't left the field. 2 yellow cards in 5 minutes time. Another look. There's the first. Catching Martinez. And there's the second. From his knees, he begged. Pedro Trollio described the pressure of this game as one of a healthy fear. Mejia has most certainly met his nightmare scenario. Rarely, if ever, these sides played an inconsequential or uneventful game. And that continues now. Olimpia will play with 10. And Mejia brought to tears. How could it have all gone so horribly wrong in such short order? The last time these teams met in Concacaf League was 2020, the year of the single-legged games. There's a red card in that game too. Gonzalo Clusanar sent off for a double yellow off the bench for Motagua. Now it's Olimpia who have to play reduced to 10. If anything, it appears to have strengthened the resolve of the supporters. It's still all to play for. Ball forward, Benston puts it down. Perhaps that's where Mejia would be. Ladled through. Couldn't connect with Moya. Delgado. Likely for Pedro Trollio during that 3-minute caucus around the referee. He's just trying to get this group to understand how to move forward tactically in Mejia's absence. Lopez, flag is down, serves it up Hernandez. Garcia. Olimpia won that 2020 meeting. What's the story now? Mejia yellow cards in the 22nd and the 27th. And this semifinal is taken on an entirely different tilt. Garcia back into the penalty area, and Menjivar recovers. Menjivar claiming he's been contacted on the calf. Was a bit blasé, wasn't it? Not sure just how much contact there was. Emotions on display. Attacking football, the constant. Forward from Pereira. Pushed through by Moya. Pinto. By Moncada. Martinez. Delgado. Melendez. Castellanos. Martinez. Moya. Melendez. It's Carlos Melendez in the back. Christopher Melendez down the right. Forward for Hernandez. Looks for support, lays it back. The save by Menjivar. Made it look as effortless as he could. Jesse Moncada puts the first shot. the legs of a defender on Menjivar's frame. The gamesmanship has begun. No Decas Rodriguez Morera for Motagua. Still no Houston Arboleda for Olimpia. They've left Boniek Garcia to the bench at the outset. They do have Jorge Benguche as well, should they need a goal late. Up to Delgado. Melendez, Delgado, Melendez. Circumnavigating Alvarez, swinging this through. Headers away, brought down by Martinez. It's short-lived. Enston running alone now up front. Slouching back into two banks of four. Olimpia defensively. Melendez swings this through, bounds down, caroms into the width, back to Melendez once more. That was a bit fraught, well recovered by Delgado. Castellanos, Juan Delgado, coming over from Progreso. Same year he was called for the Gold Cup for the first time. Castellanos, Lopez, Delgado, Hernandez. Team has been able to score on Motagua with 11, much less 10 in this tournament. For Olimpia, they were 8 unbeaten all competitions. That ended September the 1st at Motagua. They were 8 unbeaten at home. Last team to knock them off, May 15th against Motagua. Been the thorn in their side now for quite some time. No streak is safe. And the Eagles are in their nest. Martinez. Billowing down the line, Moya. Turned inward. This is a blast! Oh! It's off the bar and out! He went for a moonshot! Unreal! Nearly the goal of his life. Sanchez floats, grabbed by Rougier. Motagua the other way. Melendez. Motagua is catching their collective breath after their jaws hit the floor. There was a gasp in this stadium, audibly. Moncada. Martinez. Pushed back as he reached the gates. Martinez angles wide. Options have percolated. That gets out. And as good a time as any, or does it? It stayed in. Well, what an epic blast that was. Did it cross the line? No. That was the ultimate question. And it was inches away from a lifetime appointment as an Olimpia legend. Michael Chirinos. An incredible effort at frame. Up by Alvarez. Chirinos chips it wide. Olimpia has real life. Nunez denied. Nunez streaks forward, ushered out. Goodness, what a hit. Mejia was sent off in the 27th minute. 15 minutes that have ensued have shown Motagua in possession, but Olimpia with the most dangerous chance, somewhat from nothing. So whistle blown against Carlos Sanchez. Played in Concacaf League for Motagua, Champions League for Progreso. Was part of two runner-up teams. Motagua in this tournament. Martinez. Played forward, Moncada. Offside. The call is offside. But the decision to follow as Menjivar remains down is a yellow card to Santos. High boot catches the goalkeeper. Two minutes of stoppage time. I'm pretty sure there was a 3-minute stoppage simply for the red card. Another look. It bounces perhaps on the edge of the chalk on the line from Michael Chirinos in the 40th minute. He missed immortality by 6 inches. Earlier tonight, Ramiro Roca scored twice. His 6 goals could clinch him the golden boot for the tournament. He didn't come away with a coveted spot in the final. Instead, it's Ucles who watches with intrigue as we approach halftime. Motagua forward, Hernandez cleaned off the doorstep. Final will begin in about 2 weeks. First leg will be October 25th to 27th. The second leg be in the first 3 days of November. Should this scoreline hold, the first leg would be in Honduras. Second leg would be in Costa Rica. That said, there's a lot of work to be done. Has to think, however, Olimpia won't overcome the goal difference question that plagues them. Ucles should feel very comfortable beginning to contemplate ticket sales November 1st, 2nd, or 3rd. The final seconds of this first half. Martinez, Delgado, Melendez. Melendez serves, saved, wouldn't have counted. There's a foul. Menjivar was up to the task regardless. Santos came peeling around the edge. He was far from the only one. Halftime has arrived. The scoreline says 0-0, but a number of momentous occasions, all but the score sheet would tell you so. 135 minutes. Still, this deadlock cannot be broken. Olimpia will play with 10 with the knowledge that they must win to go through without the help of penalties. Reduced to 10, but not reduced in their intensity. And Motagua, it's all there for them now. It's all served up on a platter. Will they reach a 4th CONCACAF League final? Halftime in Tegucigalpa. On aggregate and on the night, Olimpia 0. Motagua and Olimpia retake the field in Tegucigalpa. Olimpia is wounded, but far from finished. Germán Mejia sent off in the 27th minute. They saw the remaining minutes of the first half with 10. They've made a change tactically at halftime. They brought on Carlos Pineda, and Brian Moya's day is done. It's the first change made by either side. Motagua, can they get to a fourth final? Can they finally win it all? Hernan Medina isn't haunted by these ghosts, but the fans are. Many of these players are. Olimpia gets the first touch of the second half, and we're underway. It is scoreless through 135 minutes. Olimpia must win to move on without the help of penalties. A scoreless draw, we would go to penalties. A draw with goals or a Motagua win, they go to the final. Alajuelense awaits. The 2020 champion of Concacaf League will seek their second crown. Olimpia can hope to win their second. They won it in 2017. And Motagua, eliminated by Comunicaciones the last 2 years, including falling in the 2021 final. Ball forward. You see Mejia has faded from view in the Olimpia lineup. Alas, his day cut far too short. Juan Lopez whistled. Motagua unchanged at the break. Santos on a yellow card. The only player from Motagua cautioned in the first half. Lopez and Hernandez lead the line in a 4-4-2. An elbow to the back of the head. Benston catches the wrath of Marcelo Pereira. Second card issued to a Motagua player. He and Santos, the back line. Another free kick, another yellow card. Pineda sent off. 2 cards in a minute. The Motagua captain sent off. Debris being thrown. It's a mix of anger and abject shock. Wrong place, wrong time for Marcelo Pereira, who just was recovered enough to play in this game. Both sides are reduced to 10. Stunning. Captain's armband tossed asunder. The two captains come head to head. Less than a minute before the second yellow. An errant elbow. And then an errant left leg. And Pereira sent off in no time at all. It took 49 seconds between the first yellow card going up and the second being delivered. And just like that, Motagua down their captain and down a center back. Melendez tosses the captain's armband to Rougier. He now must be the miracle worker. What are the odds we could finish with no goals but 2 red cards? The odds statistically are higher than you think. 267 league games between these two in the 94-year history of the rivalry. 108 have finished as draws. 98 Olimpia wins, 61 Motagua victories. Push from Hernandez. Castellanos, well done. He sent that out. Certainly the Olimpia player finished that challenge. Just in case you're wondering if Chirino is a lover or a fighter, Pedro Trollio is trying to tell the fans no more. That Coke was not for him. Referee struggling to maintain the players' trust in this moment. This is almost an impossible rivalry to officiate. Whistle goes against Melendez. Free kick, Olimpia. Melendez clearly seems to catch the right leg of Pinto. Quickly taken. What was tilted is now level. The give and go is gone. Covered by Rougier. Lopez. Angel Tejeda prepares his entrance for Motagua. That's still a moment away. Martinez, Santos, Moncada. Martinez. Pinto leads it forward. Laid onward. Chirinos sliced away. Onto Jesse Moncada. It's scoreless. But to think that nothing's happened is erroneous. Mejia sent off 2 cards in a 5-minute span, off in the 27th for Olimpia. Took just 49 seconds between the 2 cards for Marcelo Pereira to be sent off in the second half. That was in the 48th. Moncada. Martinez. Santos. Castellanos. Pinto pressing. Carlos Melendez certainly will have his hands full moving forward. Moncada. Martinez. Castellanos. Olimpia felt coming into the game that a more direct approach would be a winning formula. That's a goal kick. And here's a Motagua substitute. It's in for Lopez. It'll be up to Tejeda to be the difference maker now. He's scored close to 100 goals in his career. He's tasked with now trying to score maybe the biggest goal of his career. 31-year-old replaces the 32-year-old Honduran international. Lopez comes up empty on the night. Melendez turns it wide. Gesture to send it back from Pineda. It's clean. Moncada. The newly initiated Tejeda. Olympia's biggest ace up their sleeve is preparing to enter as well. Jorge Benguche, whose role has only been magnified by the loss of Houston Arboleda. Moncada. A free service that sends Hernandez out toward touch. It's a loss seeking Delgado. Alvarez swarmed, covered by Olimpia. Pineda rolls it back. And now Olimpia into the attack, sprinting forward. Castellanos backing down, and now got his foot in at the vital moment. And the offside flag. Benguche, like for like swap with Benston up front. certainly at different stages of their career. Winston, 22 goals for the senior national team. He'd risen to the occasion so very many times. Benguche has already found time in MLS. Chile, the Spanish third division, had interest. Instead, he went to Portugal and eventually Uruguay. He's landed back in Honduras at Olimpia. His father, a professional as well, Hernan Benguche. Free kick. Motagua, they're preparing a change. Too much from Garcia. Scoreless still an hour in. Offside. Motagua goes to the bench. They brought on Tejeda. Now they bring on Carlos Mejia. 22 years young. Coming off a year at Pumas Tabasco, their second division side, the reserve team, so to speak. Joined Motagua last year. Scored 4 goals. Melendez leading nearly for Hernandez. Recovered Mejia, fresh into the game. He's lost his footing. Cards out. Goes to Martinez. He's lucky it did, because Santos was on a yellow as well. He was late arriving and all that. Clearly, Martinez getting that arm extended. Got all of Pineda. Trollio saying Carlos Pineda is marginalized by previous coaches. His first international goal was actually a game-tying effort against the Seattle Sounders on the road. Part of the Olimpia setup. From 5 years old, Ricardo Taylor was his neighbor, a former Olimpia player. He's been loaned a few times. He's been an Olimpia player throughout his career. He's back up. Play begins anew. Hernandez chasing! Driven the other way by Menjivar. And Rogier sends that downfield. Menjivar is down. That ball was firmly in no man's land. Menjivar's been down 4 times in this game. He gets a beneficial whistle. Just not enough on that from Pinto. He opened the door. Hernandez was ready to burst through. A reminder that Motagua is the team that would benefit from the away goal rule. Both teams play their games in this venue, but the first was a home game for Motagua. They're technically the road team. Jorge Alvarez comes out. Jan Maciel comes in. It's the second window. There was a change at halftime as well. And how much do the legs of Boniek Garcia have in them tonight? He was sent off against Municipal in the first leg, back in the round of 16. Another look at Menjivar, who does in fact take contact as he releases that. Menjivar, who's part of that credible Olimpia upset of Seattle, saved one penalty, another was missed. 7 saves in the game. They may have their chance at that Champions League glory again in 2023. They've got much more significant matters at hand. Driven away by Rougier. Header central, corralled by Tejeda. Jose Pinto came off a moment ago as well. Melendez, Delgado, Karam's off Hernandez, carried by Pineda, pushed forward. Doesn't move like he used to, but make no mistake, Garcia very well end Motagua's CONCACAF League experience the most unsatisfying way. Bright moment for Olimpia. There is an option central. Santos douses the fire. Bacalus forward. Chirinos. There's a good amount of the soil on his jersey, caught up from behind. Two Motagua subs in a moment's time, Ortiz and Nunez. Appears they'll leave Maldonado out. Apparently they do feel comfortable with their current defensive alignment. Can add Nunez to the mix. Here are the changes. That's it for Juan Delgado. And Walter Martinez, who's on a yellow card. Santos is being asked to carry his yellow to the finish line. It's the third and final window for Motagua. The 10 you see or the 10 you get. Moral Ortiz step in up front. No team in Concacaf League has faced penalties as often as Motagua has. When they have gone to penalties, they've been pretty notable. 2020 preliminary round, 15-14 against Comunicaciones after a 2-2 draw in this venue. One of their 4 shootouts, most in the competition's history. Olimpia's been to that place twice. They reached glory in the 2017 final against Santos de Guapolis. Were also sent out by Alajuelense in the 2020 semifinal. That was on the road. If they advance, they'll attempt to avenge that defeat in the final. Alajuelense appears poised to host the second leg, regardless of who gets through tonight. It would take 4 Olimpia goals unanswered to change that tune. This game doesn't seem likely to provide that. Mejia takes the space, flicks it through, nobody home, driven away. Play on. Mejia comes up short. That's a whistle that's blown all night. Goes against Mejia. There was space there. Got closed. The leg extended. There is no whistle. Castellanos rolls it forward. Hernandez slides it through. Ortiz whistled the other way. And what a game of attrition this has turned into. Olimpia Motagua, they've battled nearly 300 times. For some reason, this one feels a little bit different. Or does it? $110 years for Olimpia that they celebrate this year. 94 Motagua. Honduran football history begins with these teams. More often than not, it ends with them too. Maciel, ball pushed away by Rugier. A little bit of funk on that from Maciel. Maintained by Olimpia. Chirinos on the trot. Maciel angled inward. And ricochets over the line for a goal kick. Finally, the Olimpia faithful have something really to cheer for, a deflection to that. It seemed simple on its face. Swings back in toward goal, and Rugier waited long enough to time it up. Scoreless, we'd go to penalties after 90. Goal for Motagua would be a road goal. Olimpia would need 2. Goal for Olimpia, Motagua would need just the 1 to overturn the deficit. Mejia. Ortiz. thrashing at Beckelis. He's come away with it. It's lofted across. Hernandez denied. Menjivar, what a save! What a save by Edric Menjivar. Everything on the line. Garcia waved back to his feet. Maciel. You can't take your eyes off this game. Chested back by Santos. Rugier flings it ahead. Olimpia played with essentially a reserve 11 against Marathon. Pinto won it shortly before halftime. That was on Saturday. For Motagua, they maintain their lead in the league. Both sides feel their endeavor to win both. Lords over the other. Ortiz, not to be. Motagua is not conceded in this tournament. They're 14 minutes away from penalties for a final. If they can score one themselves, put Olimpia in the most dire of straits. Free kick, Olimpia. It hung up in the air, and a domineering header pounded down by Hernandez, bouncing into the extended arms of Edric Menjivar. Pineda. Santos wants that wide. Instead, Garcia continues down this left side. Maciel. One player central. Ball Karam's free. Further by Melendez. Picked up by Christopher Melendez. Throw for Motagua. One loss in their last 17. Nearly unbeatable at home. It was 11 in a row without defeat until Real España knocked them off a week and a half ago. That streak had lasted since April. Motagua, the most sturdy defense in the tournament. Olimpia, the least breached defense in the Honduran domestic league. These two giants have combined for 51 domestic trophies in the league. Olimpia has won the one that matters in this competition. Motagua's come close 3 times over. Nunez flicked away. Santos. Running back Nunez. Melendez swings back. Santos, it's out of his reach. Olimpia's only loss in the league came to Motagua. Motagua's loss came to Real España. Were dispatched by Alajuelense earlier tonight. The last week of October, the final for Concacaf League. The finale for Concacaf League kicks off with the first leg. At this stage, you can feel confident it will in fact be in this venue. But who hosts remains to be seen. The opposition, surely Alajuelense. Maciel. Careless with the ball. Kept in by Mejia. Then swings down Ucles. You'd either see a second Honduran champion, perhaps second championship for one team from Honduras. Olimpia won it in 17, or a fourth Costa Rican title in 6 years of CONCACAF League. For Alajuelense, it would be their second. A massive push. Up to Hernandez. He gets tackled from behind. Open the gates 2.5 hours before kickoff tonight. The upper reaches of the bowl were packed well over an hour before kickoff. This venue holds about 35,000. Feels every bit of that tonight. 70 years of history. How many times has it seen these teams play? No two Honduran Clásicos the same. Jonathan Nunez, who inched into the 11 more and more in the 2022 Clausura. Nunez. Nunez. There's room here. Ortiz! Menjivar slides over in the nick of time. What a ridiculous pass that is. And Menjivar denies Ortiz. Maciel. Eight minutes in stoppage to find a winner, where it's decided from the spot. Swung outside. Driven away by Santos. Nothing yet for Benguche. Can he leave an all-important mark on this semifinal? Garcia. Return, Garcia once more. He's fouled by Nunez. Boniek Garcia in 2002 was 2 years shy of his Olimpia debut. That was the year that Nunez was born. Swung over the penalty area. Motagua clears. Motagua sprints into transition. Garcia. Well, hugely important that Raul Santos walks away from that. He wants no part of a second yellow. It's a fate his teammate Marcelo Pereira saw in the 48th minute. Herman Mejia for Olimpia in the 27th. Both carded twice in 5 minutes or less. It took 49 seconds for Mejia to see the first yellow and to see the red. Pinged across by Pineda. Pineda latches on once more, supporting the width. Maciel pulling strings. Benguche is central. Garcia corrals. Maciel angles forward. Rougier. With confidence and a bit of courage. Bright from Olimpia. Ball whipped across and in. Olimpia scores. What a way to do it. The goal of a lifetime. Olimpia leads. He still doesn't quite believe it. He hasn't gotten to his feet yet. He's very much onside. And that may very well be a winner. Pedro Trollio, he knows he may have just put a dagger. Carlos Sanchez, the former Motagua player, has done the job. Twice he was a runner-up at Motagua in this competition. And now he may well have sent Motagua home in stunning fashion. The 87th minute go-ahead. And now they celebrate. His first goal ever at the international level. And for Olimpia, you are so excited to host the final. These flares being thrown might change the tenor of that first leg. A yellow card's been shown to one of the staff for Olimpia. A number of flares have been shot onto the field, reminiscent of that first 2017 Concacaf League final. For Rougier, they're stunned. One goal for Motagua, they turn this whole thing around. They go through on away goals. There will not be penalties tonight. It's all still to play for. Mejia. And surely plenty of stoppage. Nunez forward, allowed out by Menjivar. And what a human victory cigar this would be. 36-year-old Juan Pablo Montes 8 years at Motagua. He played in 250 plus games in the league. He comes on as former side slouching toward a stunning defeat in the dying embers. He steps off. The job has been done, and Benguche's shirt tells quite the narrative. He's paid a remarkable price. Four added minutes. The goal for Motagua, they go ahead on away goals. If Olimpia sees it out, they would host the first leg of the final the last week of October. They would go to Alajuelense for the second leg in the opening days of November. The referee checking on the Olimpia player who flops to the ground. Play continues. Olimpia now only has 9 behind the ball. Santos. That's the first goal Motagua concedes in 6 games in CONCACAF League. And could it have come at a worse time? Taken back by Motagua, free kick. Yellow card. Garcia. The 8-time Honduran champion. Now there's additional fireworks. Motagua's livid. There very well could be 5, 6, 7 minutes in this. We've played seconds of the 2 minutes. They've ticked by. Is there a Motagua miracle afoot? Menjivar bobbles, booted away. Out to the halfway line. Nunez resets. Santos. Mejia. Corner. Everybody forward now. Rugier surely will pour ahead. Ball across for Motagua. Bobbled. Loose. Rugier slides in. It's a goal kick. Rugier getting forward. No way he thought he'd touch that with his feet. But he did. And he missed it wide. The goal from Carlos Sanchez in the 87th minute. The least likely, perhaps, to score the winner. Does. And he does so brilliantly. Ahead for Olimpia. Can they put this out of reach? Rugier. The clock says 15 more seconds. There may be more time than that. Motagua can't risk it. Turning Maciel. It's full time. It's over. It's Olimpia to the final. They won the first CONCACAF League. And now in this tournament's finale, they'll have their chance for a second. And Motagua, one of the all-time great teams over the 6 years of CONCACAF League. It ends at the hands of their most bitter rival. An 87th minute winner from Carlos Sanchez. And Olimpia will see Alajuelense in the 2022 CONCACAF League final. Tens of thousands in the venue, hundreds of thousands in the nation of Honduras, and surely around the world, celebrating Olimpia's triumph. 1-0. Carlos Sanchez, the former Motagua player, drives a dagger through his former club's heart. And Motagua is out. There will not be a fourth final. And our final is set. Olimpia and Alajuelense the last week of October and the first days of November. Until then, for our entire team at home and abroad, Mike Watts saying so long from Tegucigalpa, where it finishes on the night on aggregate. Olimpia 1, Motagua 0.
¿Cuáles son las sensaciones en general de esta serie, Héctor?